We are invited this evening to gather with Moses and Miriam and Aaron and so many of our spiritual ancestors as we celebrate together the first Passover. Now the Passover lamb has been slaughtered, the hyssop dipped into the blood and the blood applied to the doorposts. The lamb has been roasted over the fire with bitter herbs because our time in Pharaoh's Egypt has been bitter. The bread is unleavened because there is no time to wait. Our cloaks are tucked into our belts, our sandals on our feet, and our staffs in our hands. Why? Because God is on the move. But make no mistake, we have not yet arrived. The Red Sea has not parted. Miriam has not taken up her tambourine and led the worship choir. For we are somewhere between. He has heard our cries, and he will make a way. And it is there in the in-between, right in the middle of everything, that God tells Moses, tell the people to spread a table and tell the story that I have heard their cries, and I have come down to deliver them. Now we're invited to another table. Same tradition, millennia later, when Jesus reclines at the table with his disciples. And he reaches over to the table that has been spread, and he takes the bread and he gives thanks and he breaks it and he gives it to his disciples, and he said, "Take, eat, for this is my body." And from the table he takes the cup and he says, "This cup is the blood of the new covenant, which is poured out for many." But make no mistake, they had not yet arrived. For the table had been spread somewhere between the cries of the leper who hit his knees and reached out to Jesus, the cries of those who were chained in the cemetery, the cries of the broken and the hurting and the despised and the lost, somewhere between the cries and the cross. And God said, right there in between, I want you to spread a table. And I want you to tell the story that I have heard their cries, and I have come down to deliver them. Now tonight, we have spread a table and we are invited to the table, right in the middle of Carmel, right in the midst of a worship set, and right in the thick of whatever you're going through, wherever we find ourselves. And make no mistake, we have not yet arrived. For we are somewhere between the cries of all creation groaning in expectation and creation being set free from its bondage to decay to get caught up in the celebration of the freedom of the children of God. Tonight, we have spread a table somewhere between the cries of our family and our friends, our neighbors and our enemies, and the cries that emerge from our own hearts, somewhere between those cries and the moment when God will wipe away every tear from our eyes. Somewhere between "it is finished" and "well done, my good and faithful servant." And so this evening with the Apostle Paul, we take the bread. And with him, we remember that every single time we eat of this bread, we remember Jesus. And we proclaim his death, the death of the Passover lamb, until he comes. And with the apostle, every time we take this cup, we proclaim Jesus' death until he comes. Jesus, the Passover lamb, and the King of Kings and Lord of Lords.